Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here this very first live stream. And I've got a question for you. Are you stuck? Are you stuck in a job that you hate? A 9 to 5 job that you hate so much, but you are scared of leaving it because you're not sure what your future holds? Maybe you're wondering, how can I get out of this job? I don't even have any money. I don't know where to turn to. Maybe you're just fed up with life. I'm telling you, you're in the right place. This is Henry Shines, and on this live streams that we will be having, we will be talking about life's issues, how to solve them, how to come out of every situation of despondency so that we can win together. If you're here and that resonates with you, I want you to go ahead and give a like to this video. Please do me a favor, just hit that subscribe button. Yes, please do it now. Thank you very much. Now, I've got a question. This question or this statement here is, I hate my 9 to 5 job. I hate it. I don't want to be in it, but I can't leave it because I don't have any money. I have nowhere to turn to. I'm scared of my future. I don't have anything to live by. I'm stuck. Maybe you're in that situation. I've got some things that we can share together. And probably you have some other questions in your heart. Please go ahead and drop that in the box, in the chat box. Please go ahead and drop that in the chat box. I would like to hear from you. Anything that's bothering your mind, let's talk about it together. Now, what is a 9 to 5 job? A 9 to 5 job is any job, right? Which you do for your employer. Yeah. So it's naturally a standard 40-hour week job. Or you can say it's more or less an 8-hour job. So people start around 9 and they close by 5. But you see, there are many variations of this. We have jobs where you start by 8 and you don't close till 6. We have jobs, and which I have heard about, where they get into that job by 9 or thereabout and they don't close until 9 p.m. Or maybe you're in a job where you have no breathing space. Every single time is calculated. You have no peace of mind. Maybe you're working with very, very, bad, or like, I don't want to use the word bad, or maybe you're working with wicked colleagues, or people who have the wrong mindset, or people who just want to think about themselves. They're selfish, and all they want to do is just to bicker on you, or maybe they just want to pick up, a fight with you, or maybe they just want to just put you under some pressure that is unnecessary. So maybe you're in a corner and you're wondering, what are you going to do? I've got some solution for you. You just stick around and let's talk about it. So this 9 to 5 job we're talking about could be anything. As long as you're working for an employer, you're not building your own business, right? You are rendering a service to a company and they're paying you in return. So this is a 9 to 5 job, a job where everybody gets a pay at the end of the month, or maybe a pay at the end of 2 weeks, or probably a pay at the end of a week. Yeah, most times that is called wages. Some people get their pays every single day. So that's a 9 to 5 job, right? But because you don't have any control over it, you are definitely held captive by the whims and caprices of this job. So a lot of people can tell me that, what are you talking about? There are some benefits to working a 9 to 5 job instead of doing your own thing. Yeah, let's take a good look at the pros of a 9 to 5 job. So let's start with the one that everybody loves to talk about, the fact that the pay is consistent. The fact that you have consistency, you have certainty, you have something to fall back on every month. A lot of people don't want to get into the rut of, wondering where their next pay will come from. So people don't want to, they don't want that uncertainty. They don't want that unpredictability. So they want something that is sustainable. They want a job that they can have somebody to give them a payment at the end of the month. something that is consistent, something that keeps body and soul together, something that you can fall back onto. So, because of that certainty and that consistency, we are very much in love with a 9 to 5 job. Now, another pro, which is a benefit, is that you are not concerned about the day-to-day running of the business. There's nothing that really bothers you about that. You're not the owner of the company. Your own is to do your own job, do your own work, and deliver. That's all. You're not bothered about whether the bills of the company are being paid. You're not bothered about whether, the rents are being paid. You don't have to worry about all of those running costs. You don't bother about that. You just focus on your job and you do it. Yeah. Another benefit is that you can get a gratuity. Yeah. That means you can get a pension. You either get a pension when you have worked for like about probably 10 years and over. Some places you have to work for a minimum of 10 years to get a pension or to be pensionable. Yeah. Or maybe if you have to leave suddenly, or maybe something like that, you will get a gratuity. So a lot of people go into a 9 to 5 job because they have the benefit of a gratuity or a pension. So people are working. They're spending their time, they're spending the whole of their life slaving away at a job they don't like because they want to please people who don't care and they want to have something at the end of the month. Do you fall into that category? Do you resonate with what I'm saying so far? Please, if you are getting value so far from what I'm talking about here, could you please give this video a like? And could you also subscribe to the channel? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so those are the pros, those are the benefits you get. Maybe you have an HMO, you have medical treatments, you have some perks, maybe you were signed up to some, amusement parks or some clubs. I mean, there's so many things that you can get as being an employee, not bothering about anything else. Yeah, so that is the pro. What about the cons? What about the disadvantages of being in a 9 to 5 job? You know, I've heard this that when they say a job, it just means just over broke. That means you naturally, right? You are living from hand to mouth every month. You are dependent on your income that comes from this company because you don't want to think beyond this. So being in a 9 to 5 job constrains you. It restricts your thinking. It makes you to think small. That's it. You have to think beyond where you currently are because you are looking at yourself as a fish within an aquarium. Meanwhile, your playing field is the world. Your playing field is more than that job where you're in. That's the reason why a job, it just configures your mind. It makes you think small. It makes you remain small because you cannot expand beyond the level of your thinking. That's it. So when you are in a 9 to 5, you are held down by the whims and caprices of this particular job. That is one of the biggest problems of being in a 9 to 5. You definitely cannot expand beyond that horizon. Yes, you may tell me, yeah, we have, middle management, we have CEOs, we have group CEOs, yes, but they definitely cannot expand beyond the level that they have been placed. I understand that you can move from one position to another, but it is under the whims and caprices of those that are dictating that pace. What if you're held down? You can't go beyond that level. So, being in a 9 to 5 job, you are constrained, you are conscripted, right? But there's one thing I want to let you know. If you are in this situation where you hate that job and you want to leave, but you can't leave because you're stuck, here are some of the things that I want to let you know. Now, if you want to leave this job and you're scared, you need to plan. Yes, you need to plan. You need to begin to plan for your leaving that place. Now, let's look at some practical steps. You want to leave, but you're scared because probably you don't have money stored away. Probably you don't know how your future is going to turn around. You don't know what you're able to do because of the unpredictability. You don't want to step out in faith. Yes, I'm going to come back on another live stream to talk about the kind of businesses you can do, the kind of side hustles you can do as someone who's still in a 9 to 5 job. You can have a way of augmenting your 9 to 5 job till you're able to have that confidence to step out in faith and become a person of your own. All right. So that's what we want to look at in another video. But in this video, I want to give you practical steps of how you can begin to plan your exit from that job. So the first thing I would like to share with you is you need to look at your expenses. What are your living expenses? Please write this down. If you are watching me or you're watching the replay, you're currently live with me or you're watching the replay, please write this down. You can even write it inside of the chat box, okay? First thing is that you need to do an evaluation of your living expenses. Yeah, you gotta need to do that. Probably you don't even know. You need to take that sit down. Probably just one day, begin to look at all your expenses that you spend within the course of the month and then put a figure to it. Very, very important. So at the end of the month, you need to know how much are you really spending. And then you should add what we call miscellaneous. There's so many things. If you would need like a template of what you will need to do, like a template of, expenses that you need to cater for and all of that, you could please send me a message in the chat and I will send you something that could help. Or maybe I'll do that in another video, okay? Another live stream, sharing this with you. So, but I need you to sit down and come up with all the costs that you're going to use in a month. Write that down. Multiply that in a year and get what it is per annum. Okay. Now, what you're going to do next, let's assume that you're earning $5,000 every month. That's just an assumption. It could be more, it could be less. So you're earning $5,000 every month, but your living expenses is $4,500 or probably $4,000 every single month. We don't have so much more left for flinging, for giving out to people. So you're constrained. And we even have situations of people who their living expenses are even more than even the amount they're getting every month. So I'm just assuming that maybe you're in that position. So maybe you're in the position where your rents are gradually creeping up. Maybe you really have not so much left after you've done that. You need to begin to plan. So you need to know how much it costs you. So let's assume it costs you about $4,000 every month, your living expenses, right? You must realize that for you to leave your job, you need to have between 6 months to 1 year worth of that living expenses. So for instance, you're earning $5,000 every month, but it's costing you about $4,000 or probably $4,500 to leave for your expenses every single month. So what that means is it's costing you, $5,000 in a year is $60,000. All right. What you need to do now is to begin to decide. I need to have 6 months worth of my income. So that means that if you have to have 6 months worth of your income, you must have 5,000 times what? 6. Okay? 6. That is what? How much is that? 5 times 6 is $30,000. Okay? You must have that worth of your income every month. Or if you want to scale it down, your expenses. But you need to have some wiggle room. So it's better to have 6 months worth of your income. Remember that. So $5,000 times 6, giving you $30,000. Okay? Now you have to look at what are you comfortable storing aside. Will it be $500 every month? Would that be comfortable for you? Can you spare $1,000? So whatever you're comfortable trying to spare, even if you have to stretch yourself, because you have a goal, you need to look at that. How many months will I, save $500 for? You'll have to save it for 60 months. 60 months, because if you're saying $500 and you divide your $13,000, which you need to store aside, by $500, that's 60. Okay, so that means you need to store $500 every single month for 60 months. Am I right about that? Yes, I'm very correct. So how many years is that? 5 years. 5 good years. Because that's 12 months in a year, and that's 5 good years. So you need to store aside $30,000, and you have to give a standing order to your bank. Yes, to your bank. Or maybe you're in a cooperative, or you have somebody that can hold you accountable. that you must be saving that $500 in an account you cannot touch. That's it. So when you're able to do that for 5 years, at least you can leave that job in 5 years. But if you want to scale it down to maybe 3 months worth of your income, all you have to do is for 2.5 years. Okay. So that's what you do. You have to be intentional about this because if you're scaling it down to 3 months worth of income, that's riskier than having 6 months worth of income. Yes, remember that. So these are practical steps. That means you have to do a major income audit, or yes, or expense audit, I must say. That means you need to take a good look at your expenses. You need to take a good look at your expenses and trim it down. You need to really be very brutal with it. If, for instance, you're spending $4,000 and you find out $1,000 out of it is just for frugality or for frivolities, you would need to cut that off. So with that, you will have more to be able to save because you want to be able to get out of this job you hate so much in the next 2 to 3 years. Can you see the way out right now? Can you see a way out of this job you hate so much? Can you see it? Yes, there's a way out. I'd like to let you know that whatever you're passing through is only temporary. It's only temporary. And please don't allow yourself to get bogged down by things like this. Just be very pragmatic about it. Get an accountability partner. Get someone that can hold you accountable. And then make sure you begin to take action. Because action only leads to your destination. If you do not get up and start today, you would have to postpone it. And then one day you will be regretting that you should have taken action immediately. So please, if what I've said today makes any sense to you, could you please just let me know what part of what I said today made sense to you? Could you please just drop that inside of the chat? I'd love to hear from you. I mean, I will be coming up live to take these questions. I have a lot of questions to answer about 9 to 5 jobs. This is just number one, and I'd like to hear what you think about this particular live stream. Did it help you? If you're watching the replay, give a like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of value that we want to share with each and every one of you. Till I meet you again in my next live stream, stay empowered, stay motivated, and go out there and shine for yourself and for God.